Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is Mrs. J. Today we're going to look at temperature conversions for the unit on thermodynamics. We have here the temperature scales, and this is found in Google Classroom. It's just 3 slides, and basically we look at the different types of temperature scales. We look at 4, and we base them on the freezing point of water. So we look right here. For Celsius, our base number is 0 degrees Celsius, and at the same temperature, Fahrenheit is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a temperature that's cold, and that's when it snows outside. If we use Kelvin, it's considered absolute, and that's the basics for all your scientific work that you're going to do in the future. Kelvin is 273 K, and it does not use the degree symbol. Rankine is something we don't see often. Rankine works with Fahrenheit, and it's equivalent to 492, whereas Kelvin works with Celsius, and because we generally work in the international units, then we tend to see Celsius and Kelvin as your main ones as you move forward with scientific courses. So we're going to take a look at this and how to convert between the 4 of them. Most likely you'll only use the 3 as you enter your higher level courses and your college courses. Okay, so the formulas we're going to use today are right here, and I'm going to just pop them down over here so I can clean up this screen a little bit. How to convert Celsius to Kelvin, Fahrenheit to Rankine, Celsius to Fahrenheit, and Fahrenheit to Celsius. And that's what they mean down there. Okay, excuse me 1 second. Just recenter this. Okay, that should work. Okay, so 4 quick formulas. We'll look at temperature Kelvin. We can find that from Celsius if we add 273. Rankine temperature, we can find that if we have a Fahrenheit temperature and we just add 460. So easy peasy. If we want to find Fahrenheit and we have Celsius, we do 9/5 fraction, multiply it by the Celsius temp, and then add 32. Remember your order of operations. You have to add 9 divided by 5 by whatever your Celsius temp before you do the addition. So be careful there. And I always use 9.5 as 1.8, a decimal. It's just easier to memorize. If you want Celsius and you have Fahrenheit, it's the same formula as above, and it's just moved around. We won't bother moving it, we'll just memorize it. So we're going to call these A, B, C, and D. Okay, so this will move as I go through the video. It will move out of the screen, so take a quick screenshot or jot them down. So let's convert 15 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. We're going to see, so the easiest way to do this is take what you have and find it on the right side of the equal sign. So for the equal sign, I have Celsius. So go through here, find Celsius. There's 2. There's this one and the top one. And then look, I want to find Fahrenheit. Well, I can't use that, but I can use this one. So I go ahead and use this formula right here, and that's letter C for formulas. So we're going to call these A, B, C, and D. So I would say temperature Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5, but I'm just going to make it a decimal. It's just easier. Times 15. Going to do those first, and then add 32. So if you do the math there, you should get 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Check that. Make sure that you're able to do it in your calculator properly. That is the correct answer. For the next one, let's do 40 degrees Fahrenheit and change it to Celsius. So again, come on the right side of your equal sign. There's 2 for Fahrenheit. This one B and this one D. We're trying to find Celsius, so this one doesn't work because it gives me Rankine. This one works because it gives me Celsius. So half of this problem is figuring out which formula to use. So I'm going to use TC, or Celsius temperature, is equal to 40 degrees. I'm just going to write 40. We can just go math here. 40 degrees.
minus 32 divided by 1.8. So if you put this in your calculator, I would do parentheses, 40 minus 32, close parentheses, divided by 1.8. And that should give it all in one shot. If you're doing it in your head, it's 40 minus 32, which is 8. 8 divided by 1.8. And that should give you 4.4 degrees Celsius. If you're talking about the weather, you always round to a whole number. If you're doing scientific work, you keep it in decimal. And that's a general rule. Okay, next one. 5 degrees Celsius. Let's convert that to Kelvin. If I'm going quickly, it's to save time. Feel free to pause and go back. I'm going to move up a little bit. Let's do 5 degrees Celsius to Kelvin. So looking at the formula sheet, I have Celsius, so it can be formula A or formula C, and I want Kelvin, so A is going to work best for me. So I'm just going to rewrite that down here, and that's going to say temperature Kelvin is equal to 5 degrees Celsius plus 273, and that's 278 K. Remember, there's no degree symbol for K. It was voted on by some smart people in charge, and they said it's absolute, so it is not in need of degrees. There's more to that story, but that's all I know. Okay, number 4. Number 4, let's look at 150 degrees Kelvin, and let's change it to Celsius. That's some super cold. Let's freeze some vaccine type temperature. Okay, so come over here, back to your formulas. Let's see, I have Kelvin, so Celsius, Fahrenheit, Celsius, Fahrenheit. Well, I don't see Kelvin in there, so what am I going to do? I'm going to figure this out, and I want to go to Kelvin, right? Well, I see it over here. I have Kelvin here, and I have Celsius here, so I have both variables in here. I could just move this around, right? So I'm going to rewrite it down here so it's neat. So the regular formula for A says temperature Kelvin is equal to temperature Celsius plus 273. Well, I have Kelvin. I want to solve for TC, so we just want to get it by itself. If I subtract 273 on this side of the equal sign, I can subtract it on that side, giving me a nice new formula that says TC is equal to TK minus 273. So simple to do, but a little tricky when you're on a test, right? So just be careful with your math there. So it's going to be 150 minus 273. There you go. I guess I need my calculator. Where'd you go? So that gives us a big old negative number. Negative 1, 2, 3. And remember to answer the question. We were in degrees Celsius. So there's your answer. There's your answer. Important to highlight and showcase your answers so that the graders can find them. When you're in college, generally the professor does not grade. It's someone who took the class previously and got an A, and they're not so friendly. So showcase, be like, hey, my answer's right there. Okay, last one. Let's do a double header. 50 degrees Fahrenheit, convert to Kelvin. Come down a little bit. Okay, we do not have a direct formula for this. We have Fahrenheit to Rankine, Fahrenheit to Celsius. So what I suggest is Fahrenheit to Celsius and then Celsius to Kelvin. 2 steps, not a big deal. We can do that. So let's use formula D. It says temperature Celsius is equal to 50 minus 32 divided by 1.8. So I just put in the 50 for the Fahrenheit degrees. And when I solve that, I get TC is equal to, I think, 10. Let me just check real quick. 50 minus 32 gives you 18 divided by 1.8. That should be 10. Yeah. So 10 degrees Celsius. Now I can use formula A, which says temperature Kelvin is equal to temperature Celsius plus 273. So my temperature Kelvin is equal to 283. Okay. Answer. Always put your units, otherwise you're just doing some math. And there you go. Sorry, I realized I was off the screen. So just in case you missed it, I did temperature Celsius is equal to 50 minus 32 divided by 1.8. And I found that that was equal to 10 degrees Celsius. And then I put that in the formula A, which says 10 plus 273 gives us Kelvin. So degrees Celsius gives us Kelvin. And the answer was 283 K. Thanks for watching and have a great day today.